Hey guys, I am just doing a quick little video to give you a few things that I have researched before. I'm in the middle of renovating and painting my room, so my computer is stuck in a corner over there. So anyway, however, obviously the riots and everything that have broken out are of concern, and something that I studied a long time ago. There was, if anybody remembers Bill Cooper, he talked about it quite extensively. I'm not saying Bill Cooper is the prediction master. I don't know what his role in all of this is, except to say that he had some truth drops, and he talked about how the U.S. had already had laws allowing UN peacekeepers to work on foreign soil, being our soil. And then also, there's other executive orders that have been put into place. Obama signed in that the military was allowed to use force against the U.S. citizens. And again, you'll hear them always talk about U.S. citizens, because U.S. citizen is very specific to the people that they have jurisdiction over. There's private and there's public, and I'm not going to get into all of that now, but you should really study what is public, what is private, and understand who you are. You're an American citizen with a lowercase c. You're not a U.S. citizen with a capital C. That means that you are your allegiance is to the United States Corporation. And the United States Corporation is the one that is doing all this. And anybody who decides to be part of that club is subject to their jurisdiction and their laws and their rules and their games that they're playing right now. And if you think that these riots are happening naturally, you are mistaken. You are a fool. These are not natural. I haven't looked into the whole killing of the gentleman Floyd, if it was, it seems a little bit too perfect time to be natural. We've known they've staged tons of things before. They have no shortage of staging things. Look at the amazing quality of the ISIS videos and all that stuff. So again, Hollywood is spectacular at making things look absolutely 100% real. So I don't know. I haven't studied it enough to say, aha, this is the smoking gun. This is what I see. But what I know from my experience with how these guys operate is that this would be the perfect time for them to throw in something like this, okay? You have impoverished people everywhere that are on the, they're ready, they're looking for a reason to explode. And then, of course, if you look at your history shows that this is what Hitler did. Hitler had paid thugs come in and just smash up the town, destroy the town, and tell everybody that it was the communists, so that everybody fell to their knees and asked the government to save them. This is a playbook right out of Hitler's, rise to power. This is how they gave up all their freedoms. Hitler said, okay, I'll save you. So first you're going to turn in your guns and da-da-da-da-da. And then you're going to turn in your neighbors. And if you notice a lot of this, eerily similar stuff. Now we have, look at all these orchestrated riots all at the same time. Do you think that people just all together decided to, in all these different cities, like, we're going to burn stuff. Unfortunately, that's not how things are. Even the riots that took place here in Los Angeles, these aren't natural riots. These are agitators. Unfortunately, you got to realize that the U.S. corporation, if you remember the corporation in Avatar, they were a murderous corporation, and they had all the power in the world and all the military, and they they sent in an agitator, they sent in a spy amongst them, and that's exactly what they do here. So they can either bust people in or they can hire a gang. You know, if they say, hey, we're going to pay you $100,000 to your gang, we want you to take 50 people and we want you to get all their friends, as many people as you can, and go out there and just start running amok. And nobody's going to mess with you. You all have immunity. And these people are going to go out there and do all this. And that's what's happening. Like, you got this video of a Target being all busted up, and everything is well too organized and well too orchestrated that they all happen at the same time. That's just like all these different women's marches that just happen at the same time with millions of dollars behind them. Like, really? And again, it's not about this group or that group. It's just at the time they need to promote a certain agenda, they all pop up at the exact same time. That's just like this worldwide lockdown. The worldwide lockdown. Really, everybody just agreed all at the same time we were all going to do it? And of course, I know Sweden didn't lock down. Sweden's already a socialist communist country. It's already a socialist country. They don't need to lock people down because they've already got it locked down. And of course, they need to make it look as though there's one country that's not going to do it. And then later they show you, look how many more people got sick there. So they play their little games, but everybody should know that these riots are not natural. Everybody should stay in their homes and let me back that up. Don't participate in the riots is what I mean. Don't stay in your home. But just, anybody who's listening who believes any of this stuff, who thinks they're going to go protest, there's no reason for violence anywhere, ever, at any point. The first person to fire the first shot, the side that fires the first shot loses. So we need to remain calm. We need to remain enlightened, meditate, prayer, and we need to just realize that they're going to throw a whole bunch of stuff at us, and the way that we win is by being peaceful. That's how we do it. We continue to be peaceful. There's only so much they can do as long as we stay peaceful. If we start to act violently, then it'll give them every reason they need to bring in the force that they want to do. They want to make this a complete police state. They're going to come in here, put the hurt on everybody, lock everybody down, and give everybody papers. Papers, please. Sorry, the garbage truck just showed up. Of course, perfect timing. And they want everybody to have to carry around papers like they did in World War II. This is exactly the same playbook. They always say, if you don't understand history, you're doomed to repeat it. Hold on. Pardon me. So sorry. Unfortunately, I'm not editing this right now. It's just a quick upload. So, because I'm in the corner of my room and I'm sanding. That's why I'm sneezing. I'm sanding. I got the sander right there. So, anyway, before everybody goes, oh my God, he's got COVID. No. So, this circus that is going on is just incredible. They're all in. This is the big one. This is the big one that we talked about for a long time. They have FEMA camps for a reason, because at some point they're going to try to get, again, like people who decide to go out and be agitators and stuff like that, they will send them away somewhere. So a lot of these things that we talked about that were considered deep conspiracy are not so deep anymore. Using a story of a virus that hasn't killed anywhere near the amount of people as tuberculosis every year, or as many as car accidents, or and that you can't see any rapid spread of infection. You see Chinese community in China, they all sit shoulder to shoulder, and they got masks on, but they're shoulder to shoulder. You see them travel on those trains. They're, packed in there. And so anyway, people should do their research on the U.S. giving power to the United Nations to come in here in times of distress, because they have already made a deal with the UN where the UN is allowed to come in here and assist the U.S. if there's martial law. Because basically what they're going to do is they're going to show that the police are incompetent. And if the police are incompetent, then they're going to start bringing in the military. And when they bring in the National Guard, it is under military rule. For those of you who still think that we aren't already under military rule, we are, but now it's being made public. So the idea is to make the police look ineffective, which they're doing. Police can't stop these riots and this and that and the other. And unfortunately, if they bring in 50 people and 50 people turn into 100 people, 20, 30 cops aren't going to be able to effectively quiet down 100 angry, blood-boiling protesters. And I don't blame anybody either, because if you haven't followed this as much as I have to understand the tactics they use by having fake events, and again, I'm not 100% sure. I haven't really looked into it. Let's just say it wasn't a fake event. I mean, if this gentleman really was, died at the hands of some, rotten police, it's just awful. I mean, it's just awful. It's horrible. But nothing that is taking place now is a response of anybody I know. All of my friends that are black, or any color for that matter, that feel that even the ones that are, feel that racism is still at an all-time high, they would never react this way. There are other ways to go after, like, these police officers specifically, and most people don't behave this way. So this is an unusual behavior from people. Something is leading the charge on this, especially for all these different communities across the nation at the exact same time. You might see like one start here and then maybe another one here and then a few days later one there. No, it's all at the same time. Like, it's just too scripted for me. So anyway, look into, first of all, just take a deep breath and realize that there's going to be more. They're going to cause more pain, that's for sure. This is not over by a long stretch. They're going to keep causing more and more strife, keep people in absolute fear while they, oh my gosh, I'm going to say the FDA. They said that they're eliminating labels from food now, and they're allowing them to substitute different ingredients in food. So they're pulling a lot of stuff. While they have you looking over here, there's a sleight of hand going over here. They're putting stuff in your food. And there's a lot of different things going on right now. And it's important that everybody really remain calm. It's important that everybody stay in contact with one another. Hug your neighbor. Shake hands. Stay close. Keep things normal as possible, strive for love for one another, patience for one another in a time when we are very, very on edge and, frustrated. We have to be patient. We have to care about one another. And then you can also look up the United Nations presence here in America. So also look up private, public, what it means to be in the private, what it means to be in the public. Because I feel that these are things that are going to matter in the future. Well, they matter now already, but when it comes to, say, taking a vaccination, again, if you agree that you allegiance yourself with the U.S. corporation, you have to do what the U.S. corporation says. When you work for a corporation, they tell you got to dress this way, or you got to do this, or you got to do, you got to do that. Just like somebody brought up Candace Owens to me the other day, how, well, she's suing Facebook for censoring her. You know what? You agreed to that corporation's rules. If you sign up for Facebook and you put I agree, that means you agree with their corporation. You can't sue them, They can make it look like she's suing them. They might even let her win to give you the appearance that there's some sort of justice out there or protection of your First Amendment rights, but it's all fake. There's nothing real about it, because you are subjecting yourself to their rules when you agree. International law says any club you agree to be part of, you are bound by their rules. So don't, disengage, uncontract with them. So uncontract with the United States corporation. Be a private person. Or I shouldn't say person. That's a commercial word. Be a private individual. Okay. Words mean everything. So anyway, thanks for hearing this quick, short ramble here. I will be back doing some more aesthetically pleasing videos soon enough. Maybe I'll even shave. So everybody take care of one another. Put your thinking caps on. Good Lord, put your thinking caps on. If your intuition says it doesn't make sense, your intuition was given to you by the higher one. So make sure that you follow your intuition. Turn off the TV. Do not get your news from the news. And all right, I'll see you guys all soon.